When I was at a trainers summit earlier this year, I attended a talk by Dr. Jean-Xavier Guinard about consumer behavior and the acceptance of specialty coffee. It was regarding research done by the UC Davis Coffee Center, and one of the topics that was discussed was regarding a research about a Breville filter brewer. Now, when I heard about the specs of this brewer, I really wanted to start playing with it, but at that time this brewer wasn't available yet. Now, Breville is sold under the name of Sage in Europe, so when Sage contacted me earlier this month and asked me if I wanted to do a review about their newest Precision Brewer, I had to say yes. Now, I do want to mention that Sage sent me this brewer for free, but other than that, they're not paying me to do this review. So it is my honest opinion about my experience over the past week with this machine. I have done a review for Sage in the past and I've done 2 paid jobs after that review. Other than that, there is no financial benefit for me. That being said, let's dive into the specifics of this machine. My name is Gijsbers and I'll tell you about my experience with the Sage Precision Brewer. One of the first things that I noticed was the large capacity of this brewer. It can brew to 1.8 liters of coffee, or 12 cups if you like, which makes it one of the biggest home coffee brewers on the market. The machine comes with different accessories like a nice thermos carafe. It has 2 different filter baskets for the coffee, which I'll explain a bit more about later. And although I like to weigh my coffee with a scale, if you're a scooper, it comes with one. Then there's also a water filter included, and that is something that I really like. It's smart because water is one of the 2 main ingredients for your filter coffee, right? So it needs to be of an optimal quality, not just for the taste, but also to keep your machine in a good condition. And that is because it has a built-in pump to control the flow rate and also a PID and temperature control, which I'll also explain you a bit more about later. We can see that whenever the filter is in use, there's a clear indication of the amount of milliliters in there, or the number of cups if you prefer, and also the maximum water indicators for the different accessories that come with this brewer. Then there is one last thing that I like to point out, and that is this little sticker down there. And that tells us that it has been tested and approved by the ECBC, the European Coffee Brewing Center. Now, I won't go too deep into that. If you'd like to find out more, head over to the ECBC website to see what they do. But it has to do with the gold standard brewing program that this brewer has. Before talking about the different brew programs, let's take a closer look at the accessories that come with the machine. So if you want to brew up to 1.2 liters of coffee, you use the cone, which clicks right in there, and you can use that in combination with the classic paper filters. The second option, which is made of gold and gives you a bolder taste of the coffee, or you can use a paper filter, which strains out much more of the fines, and this is also the one that you would use if you brew cold brew. So there are 6 different programs that you can use. So let's take a closer look at the first one, which is the fast brewing program. And with this one you can brew up to 1.8 liters of coffee in under 7 minutes. The second one is the Gold Cup. So that is according to the SCA Gold standard. This is just a 1 press option. And you can also make your coffee a bit stronger by using the Strong program. And this is the most interesting one, the My Brew. So if we click on that one, you can customize your brew. You start with the bloom time, which is currently 30 seconds. Then the second step is control the bloom volume. And by pressing that, you can choose up to 6 different bloom volumes. Then there is the brewing temperature. Right now it's set at 96 degrees, but you can lower that temperature as well, or even go higher. And the flow rate, which again gives us 6 different options. And then the pour over setting. For this one, you need a different accessory that doesn't come standard with the brewer. Unfortunately, it's not out yet here in the Netherlands, so I might do a video on that one later. And then the last one is the cold brew setting. Personally, I don't mind brewing it the old-fashioned way by putting the coffee and the water in a bottle and then strain it in the morning. But it does make it easy to brew cold brew. You don't have to set a timer because the machine does it for you. The maximum amount of cold brew that you can brew is 450 milliliters. And then lastly we have the settings. So you can set the clock. There's a descale function. You can control the sound of the machine. You can indicate whether you put in a new filter, and the standby mode. Currently it's set at auto shut off at 10 minutes. Then if you want to do an auto start, that is a separate button. So you first have to prep your coffee, and then with this button down there, you can tell at what time it needs to start. Let's brew some coffee. Make sure the lid is on the carafe. Going to brew 600 milliliters of coffee. So I'll use the cone, a paper filter, and we add the water, add the coffee. You select the program that you want to use and then you press start. That's it. So it's time to tell you my opinion about this machine after working with it for a full week. Let's start with the downsides of this machine. Something that bothers me a little bit is that you have to take the lid off to fully empty the carafe. It's not much that stays behind, but still, if you have a delicious coffee, you really like to finish it up to the last drop. Price-wise, it sits somewhere in between two other homebrewers that I own, the Technifor Mokka Master KBGT741 and the Wilfa WSP2A. Whether that's a downside or an upside, I'll let you two decide. I think it has the most extensive functionality out of the three brewers. It brews the largest capacity, so I think it's a fair price. Then lastly, something that again is very personal is the design. The machine has a Sage look and feel. I don't think it's the most sexy machine, but it's definitely recognizable as a Sage device. Whether you like it or not, again, that is something personal. And then the pros of this machine. I really like that it can brew up to 1.8 liters of coffee. That's a lot of coffee, but still you can use this brewer to brew just one cup without having to compromise on quality because of the different accessories and the program settings. I like that it comes with an insulated carafe. Although there is also a version with a glass carafe on the market, I prefer to have something that keeps my coffee warm. And something that I think is really smart is the amount of milliliters that is indicated on the water reservoir. Because I hate it if I have to count in cups and scoops. I like to weigh my coffee and use the right amount of water. The machine is both suited for coffee enthusiasts and the home user that just wants to brew a cup of coffee. I like it that you can control every parameter of the brewing process, but at the same time you also have that Gold Cup one press brewing recipe that makes it easy to brew a good cup of coffee. And the thing that I'm most enthusiastic about with this machine is the precise PID control and the adjustable flow rate, temperature and bloom times. My name is Marijn, thank you for watching my review on the Sage Precision Brewer. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you.